Yo, what's up YouTube? Dirty D and Gaming coming back with another Rise of Kingdoms video, and it is officially kicked off, everyone. Our Veni Vidi Vici jumper project is officially underway. We are a little over 24, we're about 26 hours into this thing now. So I just wanted to give a quick update and give you guys a quick glimpse of what it looks like from doing a jumper project in terms of an individual standpoint, as well as a group and alliance slash kingdom building standpoint. What you can expect, what kind of power you can look to be at, some quick tips here and there. And without further ado, let's check it out. All right, everyone. So again, we are a little over 24 hours. We're about 26 hours into this jump now. Yesterday was primarily just kind of getting everyone sorted alliance-wise, getting our territory all set up. And of course, I'm lagging out as I try to pull out into the screen. So as you can see, I'm sitting at 93K power. Yesterday, what I had done, grinded pretty much all of the tribal villages, as well as searching all of the medium and high level caves. And once we jump into our final kingdom, we will also unfortunately be doing the same thing all over again. But this is all very much so necessary to make sure that you are boosting power appropriately. So just to give you a quick glance of what my inventories are looking like so far, we have a decent amount of resources that we are slowly starting to build up. I actually used some gems already. I had about 4K gems. I totally caved, guys. I wanted this to be a free-to-play account. However, the Writer of History bundles popped up, and I think you really can't ignore that investment. So I'm going to try my best and keep this as free-to-play friendly as possible. I'm going to try to only buy those Writer of History bundles, just because, again, you're with the legendary commanders that you're going to be unlocking through gold keys, as well as obtaining Minamoto as soon as you make your first purchase. I think it's like 13 commanders altogether that are going to give you the Writer of History bundle. That's about $65 to obtain 130 universal sculptures. That is an insane value. You are never going to get anything like that ever again. And I just honestly couldn't pass that up. So I caved. It only took a matter of less than a day for me to cave and buy some stuff. So we'll try to make this as free to play friendly as possible though, however. So yes, we did acquire some gems. I did put some of those into the More Than Gems event that popped up. Kind of rethinking back on it, I think I would have waited, but let's continue on and just check out the inventories. So our speed ups are developing okay. I think I should be at a little bit better place right now in terms of speed ups. They do seem a little low to me, but again, we're only about a day in. These training speed ups soon are going to go into training a bunch of siege units. I actually wanted to do that before making this video, but I still have to wait about a half hour for my siege workshop to finish level 7. And then I'm going to do so. I'm probably going to develop probably about 40K troops of just siege units, and then I'm done training wasting speed ups on siege. This is just going to make it a little bit more easy for me to send gatherers out and not have to do it, you know, constantly as we progress through our jump process, which is going to last about 8 days or so. Continuing back through our inventories, the boosts aren't really necessary, and then we have other. We do have strategic reserves event right now, so you can see that I'm starting to accumulate some of those supply boxes. Magic box, which you get from your daily quest, and then these are all the cave goodies. So we got about 146 caves that we searched. I might have missed maybe a cave or two, but I did my best in terms of trying to make sure I was covering the caves as I was searching through the tribal villages. If we take a look at the experience books, I actually did boost one commander, Kusunoki, to level 20, just because I forget why I did it, but I did it. So we haven't really gone into the boosting of the commanders just yet. I'm not really sure I'm going to be chasing that skin for the 1.5 million power. Personally, I think it is, unless you are into the collecting of things and, you know, kind of those cosmetic aspects, this skin that you're going to get over here really isn't all that great for the long run. It's nice to have, don't get me wrong, because it's a pretty cool looking skin, if I can find it. hidden Lotus. This is what you're going to unlock. It's cavalry attack 5%. And then this is also, it'll give you archer defense minus 5%. I'm going to be focusing as an archer main on this account. So this is probably something that I'm not going to chase in all honesty. However, if you go and check out the Logic Bank, his YouTube channel, he shows you how you can achieve that pretty easily. It takes a little bit of grinding, but he seemed to have done it pretty easily. And also shout out to the Logic Bank for kind of being the inspiration for this little jump series that I'm doing. Try to be as original with my videos as possible, but I mean, that dude really knows his stuff, and I'm kind of stealing the style a little bit. So thank you, Logic Bank. I hope you're not too upset with me. But let's continue. So we're going to expand on this a little bit more, obviously, and jump into what our alliances are looking like right now. And before I do that, let me get my Sun Tzu out on gathering, gather some stone, even though I don't really need the stone. You know what? I don't really need the stone. Let's go for this food. Yeah, the stone you don't really need, although I do kind of want to take advantage of it for this Arabia event to get some freebies, or stone over here. But I really don't need stone right now. I really need the food and the wood, especially for when these courier station pop up. I've been using some resources from here, although it's been suggested to not do so. But I mean, I feel like you're trading the resources or resource tokens that you're going to have in your bag anyway, and then you're also trading resources for speed ups, which are going to come in handy down the road. So we got our Sun Tzu out. Let's go and take a quick glimpse of the alliances. So we have Fame, which is going to be one of the main alliances from the Veni Vidi Vici jumper project. If we can check over here, we have our man MIB leading the charge, and then we have our nice R4 crew. You can see the powers developing pretty nicely. We have a couple spenders that are in the alliance, so you can see them boosting up a little bit higher, especially over here, 275k, 315k. So again, you are going to be getting a nice boost in terms of power, not just from searching the caves and stuff, but obviously you can start to do a little bit of spending while you're in your jump process as well. So pretty nice powers so far from everyone. Really looking to try and keep that activity up, and you know, just kind of motivate people to keep grinding those tribal villages and caves, and you know, just trying to do everything that you can to optimize your jump process, donating technologies. We have a fort that is being built right now that we're using for 20 credits a day. Then let's jump over to the Fate fam, as they will also be another main alliance. We have over here Mr. Wida rounding out the leadership along with Mr. MF down here. Very nice solid R4 crew. Another little bit of a spender with Rimuru. So you can really see, I mean, I think if you're not spending, you should, I mean, for me at least, like as soon as I finish this siege workshop and train a bunch of sieges, I'll probably be around 120k power as well. So I think that after a day, you should probably look to be about that. We're actually going to be setting a goal and trying to get everyone to around 400k. We're to get to 400k once we jump. Next, we're going to go over to Fake, which is going to be kind of they may be like a third or fourth alliance. We'll see. We're going to see how these kind of powers play out, but the way that we're trying to structure is have Fate and Fame as the fighting alliances. Fake is going to be comprised of Asparagus leading the crew, and then this is mostly a Filipino alliance, which is very nice because Pinoy pride over here. So hopefully they can give me some pointers and tips once I really want to try and start learning some Tagalog. So hopefully that Fake crew can help me out. Next, we are going to have a fourth alliance. Yes, I said a fourth alliance in a jump process with Fade, which is going to be led by my buddy PJ, aka Bad Don. And again, just really nice powers. You can note the powers over here. We're all doing a very good job right now of, oops. We're all doing a very good job right now of grinding and boosting up. So you can see that most people are kind of up to that around that 100K mark. And if they're not, then they're probably sitting at a little bit of a lower R position. So they're probably either an R1 or an R2. Next, we have the FaYe fam. So this is a very, very late addition to the Veni Vidi jumper project. They literally joined us like maybe a few days before we jumped into 2460, and I'm going to give a quick shout out to 2460 as well for being very hospitable to us. They are going to be led by Uvo. There's a few names. I don't know what it is with leads, and even MF alluded to it too in one of our initial officer voice chats that he changes his name a lot. I don't know what it is with leaders, because MIB does the same thing. MIB goes by like 4 or 5 different names. I think Asparagus and Bad Don are probably the only ones in the leadership crew that don't really change their names all that much, but I don't know what it is. But shout out to FaYe. They are rounding out with our what is probably going to be our 4th main alliance. And very nice crew here too. Again, a little bit of a late addition. They were part of another project that kind of fell through, and we were able to agree to, some merger terms. And it looks like we're all starting to become one big happy Veni Vidi Vici family. And then lastly, we have the FaZe fam. So we actually just made some changes to, or in the process of making some changes to FaZe at the moment, because we really exploded within the last day or two, and we were just like, yo, we need another alliance. And also shout out to Crunchy, shout out to GK, shout out to Levi and the HR crew for really organizing all of these alliances and getting the members where they needed to be. You guys are amazing. That job was absolutely not easy, and these guys did a hell of a job of doing so. So this was really put together on one of the last days, because we had FaYe come in, and then we again like kind of just blew up. We were getting like 15 new members a day, and then FaYe came in, and then there was just more and more members coming in. We're like, dude, we need to open another alliance. So this is really more or less now going to be a rotational alliance. As you can see, you have Crunchy up top, Ray, Hydrogen, and Silence, which we were probably going to be doing some moves very shortly. And then even though they is a little bit more of a rotational alliance, you still have some pretty nice powers in here. Went up to 200K. And again, you're still seeing some nice powers up here, 95K, 95. So although it's going to be a little bit more of a rotational alliance now, players are still doing what they have to do in order to keep those powers up. So those are the alliances, and just some quick tips for y'all if you are looking to do a jumper project. Number one is activity, especially in the early game. You need to be super active on these jumpers, because obviously for your trainings, these are going to finish in about an hour. So you got to have to either set a timer or make sure your notifications are on. Bringing everything up to level 7 and making sure you're not upgrading this to City Hall level 8. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in your pre-jump kingdom. And then over here, you have all of your events, which you can see that I'm trying not to claim them. I'm going to claim them as needed, as I need resources. But we are really going to start to get the resources going. And you can see here that I'm claiming some rewards, and as long as it doesn't pertain to anything that is going to give me instant resources. So if you see up at the top, this will give me instant resources to my wood. You don't want to overload that, because more than likely you're going to have a lot of resources left over that you're going to have to dump anyway as soon as you jump into your final kingdom. So you really want to hold on to these and take advantage of them once you start pushing your upgrades when you land in final kingdom. Making sure you do all of your daily objectives. This is something that players should be doing naturally anyway, even the most experienced players, because you're just getting free goodies. And even more importantly, for here and in a jumper project, you're going to be getting gold keys to get a nice head start on your commanders. Speaking of gold keys, let's jump in here real quick. I used all of mine already, so let's just open this and see if we get a nice commander. and unfortunately we do not, but these will come in handy if we make it to the 3rd stage of Past Glory, which is going to allow us to donate those sculptures. I should have claimed that, but I didn't. And then just again doing your normal daily Rise of Kingdoms, you know, activity things, making sure you're using all of your AP, making sure you're farming, making sure that you are eventually going to be working on your gathering commanders, which I will be doing probably tomorrow or the next day. I'll give another update in terms of what our powers are looking like and whatnot, and how the accounts are progressing a little bit more. So these farming commanders are going to be starting to take a little bit of a priority. Other things that you can do to optimize your jump, we actually tried to do an altar guardian yesterday and absolutely failed. So we are definitely not ready for that just yet, but hopefully we can get to that point soon. We were able to manage to take down a couple Sanctum Guardians the other night as well. If you have some bigger spenders, or even if you're getting help from someone in the kingdom who is nice enough to lend a hand and tank for you, then you can really be getting a nice boost on your commanders, as each one of these guys is going to give you 2,500 experience, and if you're using a peacekeeping commander, they're going to give you a little bit more due to the talent tree buffs that you're going to be getting. Lastly, I just want to give a huge shout out to Kingdom 2460. I reached out to them, I want to say probably last week, just to make sure that it was okay. So shout out to Lion King over here. I messaged him a few days ago. They really hooked us up. We were looking for a safe spot to drop our alliances, and he was kind enough to give us his own starting zone, which they started in, and that's why we are set up pretty nicely. We've been relatively left unharmed, besides a few scouts here and there. But I think for the most part, people will tend to just kind of leave you alone because you're so tiny. You can't really do anything. You're rocking T1 troops. So again, huge shout out to Kingdom 2460 for their hospitality. We really do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I wish you the best of luck in KVK. And just as an update, I mean, these guys crushed their pre-KVK. I took a peek yesterday. I wish I took a screenshot. I do apologize for it. I think they were like 200 million points ahead of 2nd place in the pre-KVK ranking. So they absolutely crushed it. Take a look out for these guys. If you are looking for a KVK2, make sure to check out Kingdom 2460 as they progress through their KVK1, because very nice people here, very hospitable. And that is something that you are looking for when it comes to searching for a kingdom that you are going to be migrating to. With that, guys, I think that's pretty much all I got. Again, I just wanted to give a quick update in terms of what my power was looking like from grinding all day on this jumper project, what some of the other players' powers look like, what you're going to kind of look like as a spender from working on a jumper project as well, and then also from an alliance standpoint too, of what you can really get a picture and a scope of if you are part of a jumper project group, and how to really kind of establish things so that it runs smoothly all the way leading up into your landing in the final kingdom. Stay tuned for all of that, guys. Again, I'm probably going to give an update in another day or two, just to give you a glance of what our power looks like, all of the items and stuff that I'm going to be hoarding. And then most likely next week, once we land in Final Kingdom, which will be, I think it's next Saturday or over the weekend, I probably will be streaming that, so stay tuned for that, because then we are all going to be doing power pushes, which will be very fun, and obviously trying to capture the kingdom. That is the goal when you are doing a jumper group. You really are trying to capture a kingdom with a group of like-minded people, which is always nice. So love y'all, love the Veni Vidi Vici jumper project. Stay tuned as well. I'm probably going to hop back on my main at some point later today and stream some of the fighting that's going on, because the fighting in Zone 5 in our KVK is still going on. It's tough, man. It is tough going over there, so I definitely want to get back over there and help those guys. Huge shout out again to Kingdom 2460. Shout out to all the leadership in the Veni Vidi Vici jumper project. Shout out to all the members. You guys are all amazing. Really looking forward to completing this with you guys and conquering a kingdom. And with that, I'm out. If you enjoyed the video, please slap a like on that bad boy. Consider subscribing, leave a comment, do all the things to help the algorithm, boost the channel. We're on the road to 1K. Super excited. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. I'm out. Have a good one. Peace.